Got a little hairy there, Zena and Mully, as the Warriors were up 81-57 in total control with about 3:48 left in the third quarter. But the Rockets go on a 32-10 run to make it interesting. But the Warriors make all the plays down the stretch of Steph Curry. He's averaged over 32 points over his last 6. And the Warriors wipe away last night's tough loss with a good victory against Houston. Steph joins us here on Toyota Warriors Postgame Live. Chris Willen, Zena Keita, Bonte Hill. Steph, what is happening as he's looking around for the crowd? What's going on out there, Steph? Oh, he's getting some love for the fans. There it is. Get some dope love from Houston. They still love you in Houston, Steph? I thought they'd be booing you out there. And I don't think Steph has his headsets on quite yet as he's waiting. What is he waiting for? Is he just taking it all in, will he?
Sure. Yeah, it seems like it.
Hey, it looks like he's just soaking it in. All right, get him rolling in a second.
Well, Steph Curry had a dynamic finish to this game. Warriors got off to a big lead, like we've seen before. The Rockets stormed back in the second half, but they hold on. Another game, Bonte, impressive, Zena, with another game where they don't shoot the three ball well. Right. They shoot under 40% from the field, but find a way to win. Winning ugly is a win. I think this team, I think it's a positive because they're finding other ways to win when they don't play their A game. Over the All-Star break into the second half, I think it's going to be really important they incorporate Jimmy Butler's isolation play inside the three-point line and maintain that motion, rhythm, 2.5 basketball on the perimeter.
Winning ugly, winning with resilience. That was a spirited comeback from Houston that played a really ugly first half and then came back, got it together. This is what they do, Houston. They find a way to find the energy within them to play defense, to speed up their opponent, to get their opponent feeling a little bit frenetic. And that's what they got out of Houston in the second half. Warriors were able to hold them off. That's a big-time win for them.
All right, let's go back down to Houston to the Toyota Center to Steph and Curry who's standing by. And Steph, we were wondering, we thought they booed you all the time in Houston. They're showing you all type of love down there in H-Town, despite causing them another nightmare there. What's going on down there in Houston, Steph?
I don't know if y'all can see what I'm looking at right now, but there's literally like half of the lower bowl is all of Dub Nation. It's kind of crazy to think about just the love that we get down here. And, you know, like you said, there's been a lot of battles. This is a different team, but, yeah, this is special for sure.
It's really cool to see you taking it all in. When you think about the fact that you, Jimmy, and Draymond logged some serious minutes against Dallas, everyone expecting you guys to sit out. What was the goal in playing tonight, and what was the message you were hoping to send?
We just want to go into the break with a win. Like it's kind of like just a mental battle to get ready for this game. Quick turnaround, a tough game last night that we felt like we should have won. And for us to come out with a lot of focus in the first half, try to keep the game simple and play solid, not beat ourselves like we did last night. We gave ourselves a buffer. Obviously, Houston came back and played amazing and had a crazy comeback, but we played with focus down the stretch, executed on both ends. Once we started getting rebounds, we were able to close the deal. That's the way we're supposed to play. Just got to keep it consistent.
Steph, 3-1 now with Jimmy Butler. A different look. All of a sudden, you guys are winning points off turnovers. You get into the free throw line and not as reliant on the three-point shot. What do you like so far with Jimmy Butler, and what do you want to see better improvement moving into the second half of the season after All-Star break?
We're always just trying to continue to build chemistry, understand what he does well. You can't really rush him, and the crazy thing is he's still a little rusty. He would even tell you that just trying to get back in game shape. He didn't play consistently early in the season, so for him to get his legs underneath him and for us to understand what he does well, he dominates the paint. He usually makes the right play. He draws a crowd, great passer. So if the game slows down, it's another option to run our offense through to try to create good shots and, you know, not be so one-dimensional like we were.
Jimmy Butler aboard, guy who just walked past you. Brandon Pajitsky played some good basketball since he's returned from injury. Moses Moody starting to make his presence felt there. Steph, we're going to let you go because we know you have a monster weekend ahead of you. Can't wait to have you back home for All-Star Weekend.
Absolutely ready to finally get off this road. Looking forward to the whole weekend for sure.
Absolutely, Steph.
Appreciate
Safe
you.
travels, man. Absolutely. Stephen Curry tonight, 27 points to dagger, 3, 5, and 13. And he's just taking it all in. That was a moment right there. Because you think about that building, and when he was drafted by the Golden State Warriors, you wouldn't see all those blue jerseys everywhere on the road. And down in Houston, where they've been in Western Conference Finals, second-round playoff appearances, first-round playoff appearances, and he's standing there in Dub Nation still out in full effect.
It's just really cool to see a star like that still moved You could see him taking it all in, wanting to take a moment to not only give an appreciation for those there, but feel that moment for himself. This is a guy going into his 11th All-Star. It still doesn't get old for him, and it doesn't get old for us watching him do that.
Yeah, that's the passion and joy that Steph brings every night, which is another amazing quality about Steph. You know, it's one thing about his pregame ritual and his dedication, work ethic to get ready, but to enjoy it each and every night and enjoy the stuff outside the game. To me, you could call it winning ugly, get a win any way you can on the road, but to me, it's another way to win a basketball game. They're going to have their nights where they knock down threes and everything's rolling. They're going to automatically win those games. A game like tonight, I'm not quite sure they win this game, 2 weeks ago.
24-27 from the free throw line, 89% tonight. Steph, 8 of 9. The Jimmy Butler effect. And they're getting to the charity stripe, slowing down the game, setting up their half-court defense, and now playing from behind here. I thought that was very impressive on this road trip, their ability to get to the foul line.
And their ability to use Steph in the ways that he's supposed to be used, particularly outside of the three. How many times, Mully, were we watching this tape and being like, Houston, what are you doing? That's a wide-open Stephen Curry, and his teammates being able to hit him on the move. Steph averages 3.6 free throws attempts a game. He had 6 by the top of the second quarter. This is the way that you want to show that dynamism, being able to score in different ways, as Mully continues to make mention of. You don't necessarily need the 3-ball. Now, everyone in the league is starting to adjust a little bit to that. How can we use Jimmy Butler more? How can we use the attention that he garners to get our star open like Steph Curry?
And this is a great defensive Houston team with dynamic athletes, length across the board. They can switch everything. So it's really important to manufacture other ways to score the basketball. And the other thing, Bonta, you mentioned to Steph, in the half court, settling things down, putting the ball in Jimmy's hands. Tonight they ran they ran a split action up at the three-point line. They fed Draymond. Steph came running up to back pick Jimmy. So a little wrinkle in Steve Kerr's playbook. But again, in the half court, not turning the ball over. Tonight they dominate the points off turnovers, 25-12. Plus 13. That's another stat that has really hurt the Warriors, over the last 2 seasons. Since Jimmy Butler has arrived, they're dominating the free throws and they're dominating points off turnovers. It's a huge change for this Warriors team.
They've been able to flip that. And the guy who's playing well, Brendan Pajimski.
2 things with Paz to me. His health, obviously, is number one. Like, he looks really healthy. He looks fit. He's moving around the floor beautifully, both offensively and defensively. With that, he's knocking down a 3-point shot. You look at those clips, he's not always attacking off the dribble. You see him giving the ball up, getting it back, playing with a live dribble. The fact that he has confidence to knock down that 3, when they close out to him, he's got the confidence to get by his man, whether it be a floater, get all the way to the rim, or kick out. So he's back to Pods from last year as an all-rookie team. And I think this weekend, Tim Hardaway is going to really ride him at the Rising Stars tomorrow night.
No doubt. We're replacing Case and Wallace on Team Hardaway tomorrow night. And his balance and decisiveness, that's what I've noticed since he's returned. He's not just pump faking and saying, you know what, maybe I'll take it, maybe I'll not. He's just letting it fly. 2 of 7 from the 3-point line, but then he adjusts his game, as you just mentioned, Willie, going inside.
And he's hitting the open man, which is huge.
But I think it's a simple thing, but Steph Curry does it so naturally that you don't even notice it. Just giving that ball up and getting him back with a live dribble, you can watch the defender, what's he going to do? If he closes, you go by him. If he's off you, you knock down that shot. You said decisive. Almost the defense makes the decision for you. Once you put that ball down, you're committed, obviously, to play off the dribble. When you have that live dribble, it opens up so many more opportunities offensively.
Brendan Pajimski shooting over 46% over his last 11 games, from the floor. And he's doing everything all over the stat sheet here. Then Jimmy Butler, the big acquisition at the trade deadline. The Warriors are now 3-1 with Jimmy Butler aboard. And you just heard from Stephen Curry. He's not even in game shape yet.
Don't you just feel the pressure on the defense when he catches the ball in the mid-post? Where that used to be exclusively strictly a passing play for the split action. Jimmy Butler faces up. He's got, maybe it's Holiday on him or Shepherd, and the opposing team has to make a decision because he's going to attack off one dribble. So that's a huge dynamic that the Warriors didn't have. And I just think Jimmy Butler, much like the Warriors team since he's been here, he doesn't have to play his A game, and he's not relying on just making shots to impact winning. Tonight was he 6 for 15. A lot of plays, that would be it. I got 12 points, I'm off night. He gets to the free throw line. He's rebounding, he's screening. And I think the more, as Steph mentioned it, the more they play together, they're going to start putting different wrinkles in where Jimmy is not exclusively below the free throw line. You get him moving, screening, all of a sudden they're going to be really hard to guard.
I really can't wait for the Kuminga, when Kuminga returns to the lineup with Jimmy Butler. That's going to be dynamic.
The wrinkle I really like right now is that beyond the free throw line screen, you're seeing players screen for Jimmy Butler almost within the paint. That is unbelievably hard to guard. You're trying to hedge while you're already 2 feet under the basket. And then Jimmy Butler's already there creating contact, boom, and 1 or at least 2 points at the free throw line. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun.
I think, Bonte, when Jonathan comes back, when JK gets back, you can really define exactly, Steve Kerr can tell exactly what players to do in the half court. You know Steph's going to move without it. Jonathan, we want you cutting first exclusively. If you don't get that ball for a dunk, then respace. Draymond's a playmaker, so I think it will help define those roles as opposed to playing strictly read and react, where sometimes we know in the first half of the season, it looked kind of scattered. They would get late shot clock, contested threes. With the fact that Jimmy Butler can catch below the 3, and now the players around him know exactly what their responsibility is, can really help the organization of the team.
And then you get Draymond Green, who we know he doesn't want to play the small ball 5 a lot, but he may be best at a small ball 5 on this roster, and the Warriors may be at their best when he is starting at center, Zena.
He doesn't want to play that small ball 5, but is this not the first time that all 5 starters have scored double digits? It works. It works, especially when he's the one in the middle distributing with that floor vision. And again, I talked about that connection with Jimmy Butler. I love this point about more organization out on the floor when you have a Jonathan Kaminga come back and let Draymond be the orchestrator that he can be in the middle. It's gonna. I keep saying this. It's gonna be a lot of fun basketball, mainly because you got high-level IQ leading the way in Steph and Draymond. Jimmy Butler, also a high-level IQ player, but also can get to the basket. And then Jonathan Kaminga comes in with the athleticism. This is gonna be exciting for them to be getting going.
Yeah, I love Draymond at the small ball 5.
Yeah.
Because much like when Steve Kerr moves Moses Moody to the 4, you're not really battling low post players. A lot of those guys are going to pick and pop. They're going to play in the perimeter. And if they do post you up, if you keep them out of the paint and live with those contested 2s, if they get deep, you front them. So I think Draymond, offensively, that's where all his opportunities are as far as shooting. When they're laying off him, he's so good at taking up space, dribble handoffs, and making plays. So I love Draymond at the small ball 5. I think that might be the best lineup. I know Steve Kerr wants to use it sparingly, but ultimately, that's the best lineup they have, in my opinion.
And then Brendan Podziemski fit that lineup as well. Buddy Hield comes back off the bench in his natural role. Hey, this is a big win for the Golden State Warriors as they go into the All-Star break at 28-27. They're still in the box. They're going to hear from Steve Kerr on the other side. But they get to travel back to the Bay Area feeling good about themselves after a 3-3 road trip. The Warriors, all 5 starters scoring double figures for the first time all season. That is a crazy stat. They only shoot 27% from the three-point line. Yet they win because they got to the free throw line 27 times. They made 24 of those free throws, shooting 89% for the charity stripe. They kept the turnovers down, just 11 for the Golden State Warriors. And this is a good win as they'll travel back to the Bay Area and get ready for the All-Star break. And then it's on and popping over the last 27 games. Let's hear from Steve Kerr, presented by BMW.
What did you see was the difference there in being able to hold on to this lead down the stretch?
I thought we executed pretty well several times down the stretch. We had the one turnover when Steph tried to throw it over the top, but about 3 other plays where we executed really well. And Jimmy got the layup off the, from Dre. Got a couple of other plays where we got, a good look or free throws, and that allowed us to set our defense up. So. It's good to have to finish the game that way. Obviously, you always prefer a blowout if you can get it and rest guys. But, we have to learn how to close games. I mean, we have not done that well. We didn't do it well last night, obviously. So that was an important game for us. We think Jimmy's presence and skill is going to allow us to finish games much better than we have so far this year. So tonight was a good example of that, and hopefully a sign of things to come.
Are you seeing a chemistry build between the 3, Draymond and Steph? And how would you assess Jimmy after, what is it now, 4 games, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy is, he's a real deal, I mean, just a complete basketball player. Methodical, under control all the time, plays at his own pace, never turns it over, sees the game, and then can get to the line frequently. So great closer, not in the traditional sense where he's going to be Kevin Durant and make 4 straight mid-range jumpers, but it's more of a complete game. Get to the line, make the right pass, get somebody else an open look, get a defensive stop, get a rebound. He's a fantastic player.
What did you make of that starting unit tonight with small group and then with Buddy going to the bench and positive starting lineup?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like it was the right time to do it. You know, I think Brandon has played so well over the last couple of weeks that I think he needs to be in that starting group now. He gives Steph another ball handler, decision maker. He makes a lot of plays out of nothing with his brain and his skill. So it was good to get him out there. I imagine he's going to be out there now, as a starter for a while. And obviously with Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, and I thought Moses complimented those guys really well too. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes from here. We got JK coming back hopefully within a couple of weeks, and so we always have options. But I think BP's got to be out there.
I guess just kind of big picture, right, going into the break, having some time off, where do you feel like you guys are at this juncture?
This was a huge game for us, especially after the disappointment of last night. We needed to go into the break feeling good. Winning 3 out of 4 on the road since Jimmy's arrival, I think that's a great sign. So I just feel like everybody is in desperate need of a break, myself included. And I think these next 5 or 6 days will be fantastic for everybody, just to fill up the cup, re-energize, and come back for the stretch run, which is 27 games. It's after the break, it always feels like a sprint, and so I'm excited because I think we've got a lot to look forward to.
What did you like about your defense tonight? Forced 20 turnovers. I mean, what clicked on that end of the floor?
Yeah, did a good job in the first half, played a lot of zone. We wanted to protect our guys after last night and all the minutes and the late flight and all that. So we played some zone to try to minimize the energy that they had to bring in a man-to-man and the force that comes with that, mileage. So the zone was excellent, and then we were able to withstand their run in the second half. They killed us on the glass, and so we went back to more man-to-man in the second, and defense overall was really good, but the 15 offensive boards really hurt us.
When you go into this break, Steve, what will you be thinking about the most as far as what you look forward to with Jimmy and incorporating and getting more plays in and whatever? What will go through your mind when you're on break?
Not any of that. I'm going to play golf. I'm going to be with my granddaughter, which I can't wait for that. And I'm getting away. We all have to get away and recharge, so that's the plan.
Being methodical over the. What's that? Being methodical over the.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference was tonight in kind of holding off their rally in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we just found it in the fourth quarter, just settled down, getting a shot up every time, letting Jimmy and Steph kind of do their thing. But it was definitely different than the last 2 times we played here. And, we just found it, and we were able to get stops on the other end and come up with the rebound, which was the biggest thing.
That's 3 or 4 now with Jimmy. What kind of cohesion, chemistry is this group building since he's arrived?
I think him being as smart as he is at the game, it makes it easier for, the other guys out there. I think the beauty of him is he's a willing passer, even though he can score kind of whenever. And so, just the team's got to pick their poison. If they're going to double, they're going to send 2 of them, and they're going to let him play with the mismatch. And so I think just him having the knowledge of the game just makes it easy for everybody.
How good does it feel to get a win like this going into the All-Star break after what happened last night, against one of the top teams in the Western Conference?
Yeah, it was great. I'm not sure if Sacramento lost, but I think we're in 9th now, 10th, something like that. And so I think it's big for us. I think we got 26 or 7 left. And so if we can go, 27, 21 and 6, something like that, I think, we have a good chance at the 5 or 6 spot. And so we might end up playing these guys in the playoffs. And so it feels good, especially coming up after last night, and, leaves a good taste in our mouths for next week.
Steve just came in here and told us probably going to stick with you in the starting lineup for a while. Does that change anything, how you approach the game? Does that matter to you? Like, how do you view that?
I just view it as a guard that needs to take out the other team's best guard. And so I knew today just my focus was on Jalen Green. Just trying to take him out of the game, take him out of his rhythm. And I think for the most part, me and the guys who guarded him did that. But that's just kind of what we need in that other guard spot with Steph. And so we know Jimmy is going to, help with the bigger wings, especially when JK comes back, he'll do the same. But who's going to, be that guard that steps up and guards the other team's best guard. And so that'll just kind of be my mindset going forward.
Project starts tomorrow. 3 games, and that'll be 3 games in 3 nights. How you feeling?
I'm a little tired, but Trace has to do it, Pat has to do it, Amen Thompson has to do it, and so there's a bunch of guys who had to play tonight that have to do it tomorrow too. So it'll be fun, a chance to play in the All-Star game, which I know all of us dream to do. So it'll be fun, and there'll be a lot of competition.
How would you assess Jimmy after 4 games?
He's a franchise changer. He's done that everywhere he's gone, and he is helping revitalize what we got here, the belief amongst this team now that he's arrived as opposed to what it was before he got here. It's night and day. We let one get away last night, but this one tonight we would have lost. But just having a guy like that changes everything for us. So after 4 games, what was the word you used? Evaluation? No, assessment. The assessment is great.
Where's your chemistry level with him? Because it looks like you guys are developing that chemistry.
It's getting there. It takes a while, but Jimmy over communicates, which is great. He doesn't leave anything in the gray area. He come like, hey, so what was I supposed to do there? What did you want me to do there? He over communicates about every play. Sign of a true leader. And so, I love what he's bringing to this team. Just like I said, as a leader, coming in and being that guy and not just taking the back seat, because that's what we need. But chemistry is definitely getting there. But it'll take some more time, and we'll continue to figure it out. But like I said before, he started playing. We're all winners, and we're all smart basketball players, so we can figure it out.
Scott started the 5 spot. What popped about that lineup with Brandon in it, and how'd you feel?
He's been playing great basketball since he came back from the injury, and tonight was another example of that, just him being aggressive. We always tell him to be decisive. No pass up shots. Don't overthink it. We can't believe in him more than he believes in him. And so that's always our message to him. And he's been playing great basketball with that belief.
Getting a win going into the All-Star break on the road against one of the top teams in the West, just what does that do going into these 7, 8, 9 days here?
It's good. Yeah, you want to feel good about a win. Like I said, especially with letting one get away last night. So it was good to get this also restore our dominance in this building. It's good.
Unrelated to tonight, but a question about All-Star Weekend. Jason Richardson coming back to judge the slam dunk contest. What do you remember about watching him do his thing when he won those 2 back 20 plus years ago?
You talking about a kid from Saginaw, Michigan, watching Jay Rich on that big stage? The twin leg back, like all of that. It was incredible, man. Like it was a dream. Jay Rich won that slam dunk. He won 2 of them. But when he was winning, it was like our city was winning now. And I was a little kid that he didn't know in that city watching him win that. And it was just like, wow. But I remember the support that we all had from him. And I hope he felt that because I know how strong it was. Like he made that city proud. Long before myself, Lamar Woodley was Jay Rich in the dunk contest making our city proud. Wow. To see him back, it's incredible. Because he made that small town proud then.